In today's video, I'm going to be discussing 30.8% and 32.7% increases to Social Security, including but not limited to Social Security retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, spousal, SSI, and VA beneficiaries. That's the focus of the video. Let's talk through the details. All right, now in this video, I do want to share with you the details of a new report that was released showing some pretty surprising information, and I'd love to hear your feedback on this because this is actually directly impacting your monthly benefits over the last 10 years. So meanwhile, as we talk through the details of this, I'm going to throw the article up on the screen right now so you can see exactly what I'm talking about here, and the chart I'm also going to be referring to so you can also see for yourself the visuals behind this and the differences I'm going to refer to as well. So here's what it comes down to. The report starts in 2015 and goes through 2024. So it encompasses 10 full years. But here's what they're talking about. The COLA, the annual cost of living adjustment that we get every single year to adjust our benefits to account for the extra cost of living because of inflation. What a joke, right? Yeah, exactly. I think we all probably agree to some degree here as well that the COLA is nice, but at the same time, it is way, way, way below where it really needs to be for the vast majority of beneficiaries. But anyway, we can talk about that in a separate video. However, as you probably heard me talk about in other videos, the COLA is calculated based off of the CPIW, which stands for Consumer Price Index for Urban Wage Earners and Clerical Workers. This does not reflect the actual expenses for a fixed income beneficiary. However, there are pieces of legislation out there that do want to change the CPIW to the CPI, which is the Consumer Price Index for the elderly. However, the CPIE actually outpaces the CPIW by a little bit. It's actually not that much. Now, as you can see here in this article that you've been looking at, you can see that there's this chart here, right? So the chart within this article is showing the difference between the CPIW and the CPIE starting in 2015 through this year, 2024, a 10-year span of time. Now, in general, most years you can see that the CPIE actually outpaces the CPIW a little bit, a few tenths of a percent, maybe 1 full percentage point, something like that. But there are also a handful of years as well where the CPIE actually comes in lower than the CPIW. However, at the bottom of the chart there, you could see it reconciled all 10 years. And here's what we found. The CPIW starting in 2015 and ending this year, 2024, taking into consideration the 3.2% COLA we got this year for 2024, a grand total over that 10-year period of time, the CPIW produced a 30.8% increase to Social Security benefits. Sounds pretty nice, right? Wow, 30.8% raise. That's like amazing, right? Well, yeah, kind of, but it's not that great considering what real inflation was doing during that time. Now, if you look at the CPIE, you could see during that same time period as well, that same 10-year period of time, the CPIE actually produced a 32.7% increase to benefits, a difference of a whopping 1.9% more to benefits if the benefits were actually calculated off of the CPIE. So you can see it right there, it's not a huge difference, but don't get me wrong, we absolutely want the 1.9%. Now think of it this way. A 1.9% increase on, say, a $1,000 monthly benefit would only translate into $19 more per month. However, to be fair, if you're a mathematician or if you like math and numbers, I am not a mathematician, I just like math and numbers. But my point is, you got to remember this much as well. There's compounding along with that, okay? So let's just say back in 2015, okay, or 2016 or 2017, something like that, the raise from the CPIEs was maybe a little bit higher, right? Remember, that's compounded and carried forward to the next year. Then it's compounded again and carried forward to the next year. So technically, we can't just say, oh, it's 1.9%, and that would only produce a $19 benefit increase on a $1,000 monthly benefit. Yes, that's what it would be on a 1-year basis. However, compounded over a 10-year period of time, again, a little bit each and every year, it might be a little bit more than that, okay? Now, again, I have not run the numbers on this to determine exactly what it would be taking into consideration compounding, but realistically, it would not be that much more. Maybe, I don't know, $25 more versus $19. Again, I'm just kind of rounding and giving some rough numbers here. It would not be so dramatically different that we're like, wow, that's life-changing. We're talking like $1,000 more a month. No, that's not what it would be, okay? It'd be a few dollars more because of compounding. That's about it on an average $1,000 monthly benefit. So that's the detail behind this. Now, there are pieces of legislation out there right now. In fact, in the article there, you probably saw there's a couple of them that were listed, including the Social Security Expansion Act. That one I've talked about many times before in other videos. And there's another one, Protecting and Preserving Social Security Act. That's another one that was listed. But there's actually multiple other pieces of legislation out there as well to change the COLA, including the Social Security 2100, a sacred trust. That one also changes the way that the COLA is calculated. The president has his four-pronged plan to adjust the COLA, again, from the CPIW to the CPIE. There's a bunch of other pieces of legislation that are out there as well to do the exact same thing. Now, they have not done anything about changing the COLA. And if they did, it would take a very long time to actually adjust benefits in any significant way, okay? And remember, over this 10-year period of time, because of this report right here, it actually only showed a 1.9% difference over 10 years. That's not that much, right? So again, maybe you've heard me talk about this before, but we've ran studies on this before going back to the year of 2000, good old Y2K. Remember that one? Yeah, okay. So the studies show going all the way back, say 24 years ago, this actually is a very substantial difference. In fact, it's like a huge difference from the CPIE to the CPIW to the CPIE. It's hundreds of dollars more per month from the CPIE over a big span of time, 24 years versus just this 10-year span of time here in this sample. Does this kind of make sense? So anyway, I want to bring this to your attention. I would love to hear your comments down below. What do you think about this? Do you think they're just wasting a bunch of time talking about changing the CPIE versus the CPIW? What do you think on this? Seriously, I'd love to hear your feedback on this. Now, again, there's been tons of other conversations out there as well. Maybe we should completely eliminate the COLAs going forward. Have you seen those videos? I've talked about that. Some people are saying, hey, let's just eliminate the COLA. Let's completely avoid it. Let's stop giving the raises to beneficiaries. I don't know about that one. That'd really irritate a lot of people, I think, really fast if you basically just said, hey, we're going to stiff you for the rest of your life. I don't think people would really go for that. I don't necessarily think that's the best idea unless they were to replace it with something like, oh, gee, I don't know, a $200 raise, something like that. If they were to do that, then in a lot of instances, you'd probably be ahead considering how long it would take to actually get a $200 per month raise for the average beneficiary. But there's a lot of proposals out there right now, and I thought I would share this one with you. I thought it to be a little bit interesting, and I found that graph to be pretty fascinating as well. So anyway, that's what I want to share with you here in this video. Again, leave your comments, your questions, your feedback down below. I'd love to hear those if you'd like to share. Otherwise, subscribe down below. Totally free to do so. Go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel, including the thousands in the video library and the ones I've hand-selected for you down below in the description or at the top of the comment section. And as always, share the video with your friends on social media with a big share button down below as well. And until next time, enjoy your day. Take care. Have a good one. And I will catch you again later.